wanted to share my thoughts on my new camera bag. Hopefully it might be useful for one of you as well. I've gone with the brand Nordace. I've heard them obviously somewhere before about being for cameras, but I've generally seen stuff online and even kind of on their content in relation to the bags being more travel bags and being utilised for cabins or cabin cases, getting lots in there. So I thought hopefully this might be useful. Go through more camera size and how it practically works. Now, initial thoughts, I am going to slightly go on the packaging side of things. I have seen some content which has showed them coming bags in dust bags, very well boxed, branded boxing. Mine didn't come like that, obviously it wasn't branded, I bought this myself. But I was slightly disappointed with the packaging in relation to especially kind of the products themselves. So initially it was in a plastic out bag. I don't know if they've done that from a waterproofing point of view during transit. That has sellotape around it. Once got inside that, the box these were in actually was quite a flimsy box, and it had got some dents in, I guess from transit, and that also then had sellotape on as well. Now, even with smaller brands, you see them have really good sturdy cardboard boxes using paper parcel tape, which is actually really strong, that I actually really struggle to get through sometimes without scissors. So I think the packaging side of things could potentially be maybe levelled up to coincide with actually kind of the quality of the bags themselves, looking at them. They also then were in plastic bags themselves inside that box, so it is quite a lot of plastic, and I know I obviously like to try and reduce plastic as much as I can, so they're just some thoughts on that to start with. So let's get on to the actual products themselves. So this is the Nordace camera case, the Siena camera case. There's only kind of one style, one colour that it comes in, so the black. It's designed to fit into the Siena II daily backpack, so like pretty much that fits in from the looks of the dimensions and not much else. That bag was out of stock when I was ordering, so I've gone for a bigger bag, so hopefully I can fit more in anyway, so it's then a bit more practical for me. Camera case itself, on the back there is two zips for a mesh compartment, so you can open it either way, or if they're both open you can get your hand all the way through. For that, might be for chucking in things like camera, lens caps, so they don't get lost when in use. And then the top itself is a Velcro flap, and then Velcro zip, zip to open it. And these three padded sections are Velcro, so you can take them out, reconfigure them as you wish. This is how it came. So in the 4 sections, might keep it to 4, might configure to 3. Once we've gone through the initial thoughts, I'll grab my camera and bits, see how it looks kind of going in. There are then as well some little straps in here to help keep cables tidy. So you've got kind of 2 smaller ones in each of those, and then some bigger ones on the other side. You've got a mesh section here which is zippable, so that could be useful for kind of spare batteries, memory cards maybe in there, and that is actually completely Velcro, so that you can move to I guess whichever side of here you need to fit in relation to what else you've got in the camera wise. A little pocket here. This has got sections for memory cards. I'd probably get something else rather than using this for my memory cards, to be honest. But there is something there at least if you're getting started. So that in itself feels nicely padded, very kind of secure. Then for the backpack I went for, this is the Siena Smart Backpack. So I went in blue, Blue is one of my favourite colours. I really like the beige as well. Didn't think that was very practical. The light blue as well I really liked, but again, maybe not the most practical colour. So I went for this blue. It's quite like a jean blue, which I quite like. Obviously tag and everything still on it. So most of the Siena bags, they have a strap on, so you can put it over handles of a suitcase, so if you're wheeling things around, and then there is a hidden pocket behind there as well. Probably kind of would fit a phone, maybe passport, maybe a purse. My purse might be a bit big to go in there. Definitely like a card, little card wallets, definitely fit in there. You've then got a back zip, which is a padded section, so for laptop. So that'll be really handy. It's actually would fit a really big laptop. My laptop isn't that big. Would be useful if I'm shooting tethered on shoots. You've then got a front zip here as well, and that has got some pockets. So it's got like a kind of microfiber, softish kind of pocket, which I guess is for the sunglasses. In there as well, you've got a key clip. You want to keep things secure. It is just sewn in a material. It's not a drawstring one on some of the other designs in there. And then the other side one is, well, you've got 3 kind of pocketed sections in there. So lots of useful small components in there. And then in the main section, I need to flatten out the base so it doesn't get it because it can't quite squashed. You do have a cable for plugging in power bank, so phone charger block, and obviously there are pockets on the bottom, so you can easily plug that in, stick that in there, and then there's a port that you can put your cable into to be charging on the go without having to hold the big power pack, which could be useful. So there's 4 little pockets down the base. There's a big one at the top, which has also got the kind of vegan leather trim that's everywhere. There is also a waterproof zip pocket at the top, so I guess you can decide if you want to do it. Keep your liquid bits in there so they don't spill out, or keep your precious things in there to stop them from getting wet. You can do them from either way. So there are all the sections inside there. So I'll flatten the base out. Have a little go at seeing how this fits just initially in. Pockets as I go. So really good width that it fits in the base. I've still got a whole kind of section side, down the side that things could stand into, or depending on how I get in the actual camera accessory case itself, tethering cables could maybe go in a little bit longer. Still got, I'm going to go from there, so there's the top of the bag, there's the camera case, so still got plenty of room on top for getting a jacket, jumper, something like that in as well. And then kind of one outside bit I forgot about, there is a bottle pocket is there for a water bottle, so interesting to see what kind of size that fits into there once you've got lots in the bag. So looks promising, so let me go grab some things and see what we can get packed into here. So here is some of the stuff I would probably be thinking that I would need to be fitting in. So got my laptop, got so this is my reflector. I do have a small one which is, no, it's my diffuser. I've got a small one which is reflective, but not being used at the moment. Tethering cable, cutlery set, and this is my power bank. So that could be then popped in and obviously hooked up. Umbrella, practicalities, camera, purse, lens, obviously camera that I'm filming on because it's the second camera going in, water bottle, coffee cup, reusable lip balm, hand cream's always handy, hand sanitizer, always have some of that in my bag, tin of mints, yes, it's a lush tin, so it's perfect size for mints. And we also got kind of phone, notebook, this is what I've got for my, what are they called? SD cards for my camera. So I'd probably swap that out more than use the little thin one that is in there. So, oh, and then also this is to collapse down. So potentially do try and take something like this or overusable silicone food pouch with me. So if I'm out and about, I want to pick something up, I've got something potentially to put it in, leftovers, bring back. Obviously depending on what we do in the day, this could even be up fully with food in that I've taken with me as well. So we can try and see how that works, both open and closed. I haven't actually got a jacket here, so we can see how we fit this in. And then we can go from there if there's space for other bits that I can try and get in. So first of all, I'm going to start with the camera case. This will go in and stuff and then go around it. So open that fully. Will this fit in there? Maybe. Let's give it a try. Not quite. So doesn't fit into that bit, but it does look like it will fit. See that? Yeah, so it will fit into there. Space for spare batteries. My ones are on charge at the moment, so they would fit into there. I'd probably then ignore that bit. So I've got Canon, I've got a Sony that I'm shooting on here. So yeah, I don't think anyone has a camera into there. So take that out and actually see. I've got big camera straps on my camera, so if I went in there, that actually would probably snug into there, and then that would be quite snug. And that then would probably just about fit my Sony in. So that would then fit quite nicely, so I wouldn't technically use that. And if I can just stick that in there, a bit of extra padding. Okay, so that looks pretty good so far for that. Probably wouldn't be able to put, obviously, tethering cable in, unless I was only taking one camera. I could put that on a little component, so that's obviously going to need to go into the main bag itself. So I have just taken my camera off, started recording for a moment to see if I could fit both cameras in. I can fit both cameras in, but not necessarily with the Velcro bits in and the lens. So I'm going to put the lens, my Canon lens next to my Canon camera, have the strap kind of laying over the top of them, but without one of the dividing section ends. And then the Sony would fit in the bottom section, so it's almost just two halves. There is space next to that one, but again, if you put a divider in, it won't necessarily hold another lens. So it's either going to be kind of both cameras, lens not divided, or potentially one camera, two lenses would work quite nicely as a configuration. So now let's start packing the main bag. So let's pack the main bag. So I'll be mindful of the cable, which is that side for the phone charger. So I'm going to put the camera bag towards this left hand side. We'll do that first. Zip on the back there. Pop that in. And let's see how drink bottle. So that's a 500ml Chili's bottle in there. That fits in there. Then let's go laptop in the back. It's quite nicely. Space. So the diffuser does fit in the back there as well. Probably won't be able to get the, no, yeah, that's my diffuser. Probably won't be able to have a reflector in there. So so it would probably be either or. I don't know if I'd be able to get my reflector into there. So, where do I want to go next? So I could fit, I'd take my new protecting. So this is a little Gomi power bank, really handy, lots of different designs made from recycled plastic. And then they also have a scheme where they kind of replace the batteries once it kind of stops holding charge. So really good, kind of sustainable company. So yeah, definitely recommend them, and I also got my personalised as a birthday present. So if I wiggle that down the back, and then which way around do I need to put that? Plug that in there. So where did I? Oh, there's my little one. I know this obviously isn't very practical, but just to check that it works, we put that in to there, and then plug that into my phone, and it does charge. So it does work. So you just need to be mindful of length of cable. So that actually is really, really handy. So I'll just pop that in next to the phone bank at the moment. Oh, that is very snug in the back there. So I probably wouldn't really be able to utilise those bottom pockets now with the camera case in there. And actually I think having the water bottle has shifted that across slightly. Phone I might just put in the front ones. Okay, phone in there, don't need that. Bra, that can go down there. Tethering cable. Probably pop that down the side as well. Okay, so what else have I got? So, purse, oh, I've got back there. So, having your phone in there isn't really that practical now of that. My purse definitely won't get into there. So that would be a phone or a maybe passport if I'm using this going away. So, let's pop purse and phone in the front. And this is obviously very different things than what they tend to pack. I've kind of seen people just pop like a DSLR camera on top once they've got all their clothes and bits like that in. So I could slot in that little back one there, maybe lip balm, hand cream. And sometimes it wouldn't necessarily work. I can maybe do that in a waterproof one. That would then fit coffee cup on top. Mints could go on top. Do mints into that one potentially. I could maybe do. No, I'm going to do cutlery into that second side of the front one. So that's then, with the camera case in, you're losing space at the front. Maybe get glasses left in there. I probably wouldn't put too much else. So then that would be coffee cup. Sandwich, that does fit in there collapsed. Let's see if it fits in there. Built out. So these are my Stojo collapsible containers. So let's just well, like how easy is that? So that actually does fit on there quite nicely. Last thing, notebook. So I mean, that could go on there just on the top. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go on top. I don't think that will fit in the front ones. Might have done it if I didn't have the other bits in there. Okay, so actually that probably is pretty full, but if I am using this for kind of location shoots, actually the Siena II daily that this camera case is purely made for, I wouldn't be able to get potentially tethering cable in, or it would literally be tethering cable on top, laptop. No, not necessarily. I wouldn't probably be able to get my diffuser in there because this is wider than the other one. So I'd maybe be able to get a reflector, but not my diffuser in there. So that has fitted in quite a lot. Okay, this is just with the straps as they came. Probably would want to tighten up just a little bit more, make sure we're looking after our backs, especially with the weight. They do feel like really comfy straps on. Sits very comfortably there, even with diffuser. Yeah, diffuser laptop that'll fit in the back there. So it is really, really comfortable. So there would be additional weight if the water bottle was full. But yeah, I think I'm very, very happy with that. So I hope that kind of first review, first thoughts, kind of having a go initially packing it with the camera bag accessory was really helpful for you. If you've got any questions, please let me know. This will probably be something quite different or standalone from other stuff that I'll be sharing on this channel. So you'll probably see it more kind of out practically in use on shoots, behind the scenes, bits like that, rather than lots of reviews like this. But as it kind of relates to cameras and photography, I thought I would share it, and hopefully it will help with someone else if they're looking for a camera bag to be taking out, whether it's for food photography on location or if it's having something handy with you travelling, capturing stuff on the go.